This rural location where I am right now is called Nowy Staw. It is located approximately about 12 kilometers so from Malbork. Malbork is one of the largest tourist attractions in Poland with its huge Crusader castle. Here, Nowy Staw is really very attractive, very interesting, very unusual village, and you'll see it in other videos which I'll eventually put up. But I'm here today to have a look at this monument which is here. Now this is very socialist inspired. So we have the monument to the war. We have this bit in front of it which I don't know, it's meant to be a parade ground or what, where people, when they come to pay their respect, but whatever it is, probably used as a car park now, although there's no cars in it. But we've got some other monuments around it, which I'm going to actually talk about. The version of history is now different from that which the communist regime gave. So the communist regime, obviously basing it on how great the Soviet Union was, which liberated Poland, and where, as we know, the communist regime didn't liberate, well, sorry, got rid of the Nazis, but it didn't get rid of, it was still pretty bad. And so now we have something else, and certain organizations can now be celebrated which previously could not be. Now, to give a little bit more of the location, I mentioned Malbork, that was Marienburg, that was in East Prussia in 1939. Actually, prior to 1920, it's been in West Prussia, but West Prussia ceased to exist in German administrative area. So this became East Prussia when the Polish corridor was created in 1920. So that was here. This was the Free City of Danzig. So in the Free City of Danzig, there were a number of settlements. It wasn't just the city. More of it was rural than non-rural. So in German, the Nowy Staw was Neuteich. So a stav is a pond, as is teich, so it's Nowy means new, as does Neu, so it's a direct translation. So I presume that the word Nowy Staw was used prior to the war. Anyway, so we've got this old monument here first of all. Now how old it is, unless there's a date on it, I don't know. And it says, for those who fought for Poland, and that's from the community of the town and area of Nowy Staw. Anyway, we're going to walk across here now, and so this says here, to the memory of the Poles who were brought for forced labour in the Żuławy. That Żuławy is this area of Poland. It's in the Vistula Delta, and it's a flat land, flooded quite a lot. So even lots of one or two old windmills and things like that, and it says, let's go a bit further, and the members of the secret University of the People, Młody Las means young forest in Trampowo, I presume that is, in 1939-1945, and that is 3rd of May 1997. And I'm going to come to the next one here. This stone reminds us of the Ślubowanias, taking the oath of the leaders of the secret organization of Poles, Młody Las, who took their oaths here, and calling for the independence of the homeland on the 15th of June 1941. So that was put up there on the 15th of June 2018, and again it's from the same people. And over here we have something I can't read very easily. Those from this area who gave their lives, and those whose lives I tym, które życie je przywrócili, and those for whom life returned, and those whom gave their love. Okay, and that's on the 50th anniversary of the end of the Second World War in May 1995. Right, okay, so I want to talk about this thing here, Młody Las. And first of all, I do have to point there's even an error up here, because it mentions here the years 1939 1945. Effectively, as the next stone clearly states, this organisation Młody Las, 15th of June 1941. This was an organisation which largely sought to give information. Many people were brought to this area for forced labour, and so what they sought to do was to listen to radios, find out what was really going on in the world, pass this information on, and they also, by meeting this, tried to reinforce their Catholicism and their belief that they were Polish. Now, there had been an organisation called Młody Las, which was set up in Ripin in 1939, but that was infiltrated and destroyed. Now, as far as this organisation was concerned, it was infiltrated in 1942 by the Gestapo. A number of people were arrested, but they didn't break it up. And there was even a second infiltration by the Gestapo, if I remember rightly, in 1944. Now, the thing is, when organisations are secret, you tend not to know a great deal about them for obvious reasons. They're meant to be secret. Today, no one's alive who was in this organisation. The last person who died in 2020, a lady. This shows sort of resist, but this was resistance above all from forced labourers. Now, it needs to be pointed out that there was a plebiscite for people to decide if they wanted to be made in be transferred to Poland, where they lived, or to be in East Prussia. And the overwhelming bulk of people voted for East Prussia, even though there was a very large number of Polish-speaking people. What I think, and I've noticed this in research, is that there were people who identified themselves as being Mazurians, or say Polish-speaking Germans, who probably, after Hitler came to power, wished they voted a different way in the referendum in 1920. Now, clearly, if given the choice of voting for Germany, let's say East Prussia, or voting for Poland, the German choice was much better, for it gave a number of advantages. Poland was then at war, and Poland might have ceased to have existed. The Bolsheviks might have overtaken the country. So that was number one problem. The next thing is that a lot of people had pensions and things like this. It needs to be borne in mind that Germany had a very advanced system of social care. This was set even in Bismarck's time. I mean, I think when Bismarck started doing this to control the trade unions, but it made a lot of sense. So there was this, and Poland was a country which had just started to. There was, would the pensions be paid and things like this, so people had a very good reason to worry about, even though the Polish government promised it would pay all pensions. And the next thing, I think this is ultra important, is that the Mazurians, above all, were Protestants, evangelical, Lutheran and whatever, and they resented the fact that Poles from outside, Catholics from outside, even though the person in charge of organising the referendum committee for Poland was himself evangelical, that it wasn't seen as that way. And also the idea that the Mazurians certainly looked upon themselves as being more cultural. There was an expression that existed in Germany before the First World War, something like that, where the Slavonic world begins, culture ends, something along those lines. I can't quite remember in German now. And so anyway, I have seen accounts though of people where prisoners of war who were on forced labour assignments were actually assisted to escape by Germans who were Mazurian, spoke a bit Polish. In this area here, around here, most of the Polish speakers were Catholics rather than the Protestants, so the Protestants were more to the east. Anyway, so it gives a bit of background into this organisation. Now, this place here is well and truly off the tourist trail, and it's very attractive. I mean, the main square is amazing, I think. It really has a old world feeling to it. And the region, Żuławy, and you might see that there's an advertisement there for a restaurant, Żuławy, I personally find really attractive, sort of flat. It looks a bit like Holland. In fact, some of the people who came here in the 17th, I think it was, or 18th centuries were from the Netherlands. They came here for religious freedom. So there's a little bit of a background here, spoken off the top of my head. Now I reserve the right to make mistakes when I speak off the top of my head because I forget things. And however, I do correct them if I find a mistake I've said in the text, because it's much easier just to actually write something as the first comment, which is pinned, and that is that's a correction. If there's more than one correct, or somebody corrects me, if there's more than one, then I can no longer pin the persons who corrected me, and I must rewrite it myself, although that person's comment will be in the comments below. Right, anyway, there you go, there's a look here. A new space for life, Nowy Staw. And we've also got here, I'll put a map up, but though I don't think that actually helps. Oh, sorry, the place I said Tremp Novo, there you go, it's Tremp Nowy. And so the map doesn't really help very much for those who don't really know the area. But so we got the Nogat River, and that was the border between East Prussia and the Free City of Gdansk. There you go. So what's worth seeing here in Nowy Staw, we're seeing the Gothic Cathedral, the ruins of the market. Sorry, it doesn't say ruins. Sorry, it says zabytkowy. It means monumental, something like that. Attractive looking market, which I agree. And there's a new Gothic church here. Then Dom Podcieniowy, that's a house with these stands in front of it. I don't know the word in English. Anyway, from 1820. And there is some, I like these things as well, industrial heritage. There's the sugar plant. There's the Swadownia. What's that? Swadownia in English. Can't remember the word Swadownia in English. This is getting bad. Anyway, whatever Swadownia is. And Wieża Ciśnin, I've forgotten that word as well. The Wieża Ciśnin, was it pressure tower? Where you get water from. It's next to the railway station anyway. And I'll put them in the comments when I remember what they are. And also in the area, we've got a church, we've got a 14th century church, and we've got a 19th century 19th century nagrobki cemetery, or tomb of Mennonites. So Mennonites were these people who came from the Netherlands. There we go. Good. Let's look around. It's not, that house is fantastic. So, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting, and all the best for me. Nowy Staw, Poland.